We are, today's a huge day. Today's a big day for me. We've had a long relationship. We've been collaborating and bouncing ideas off of each other. You've taught me everything I know about Facebook is probably a fraction of what you've already forgotten.
Okay.
Or about YouTube.
I don't know about that.
About creating videos. So talk for a minute. Like I reached out to you a couple months ago and just said, hey, I want to collaborate with you. I think our company will be opening up in Canada, in Toronto in the next couple of months. At the time, I think you were just kind of evaluating the landscape, right? You were looking at the last couple of years. It's been awesome. Thinking, man, there's got to be something.
Well, I think you hit the nail on the head. Is that like, actually, even just to my post today, like I was explaining that it is this insane dichotomy of emotion as a human being to come off of the most challenging and difficult year of your life personally for what I went through in 2021, while, you know, riding the excitement and the wave and the strength, I guess, of two of our best years, you know, with North Group starting in June of 2017, and in 2020 and 2021 were record-breaking years for us. And I think that the questions that we started to ask, you know, even at that level, are things that we all think about as entrepreneurs. Like, okay, this is great, you know, business is good, but I'm also like really working hard. So how do I get there from here? How do I create any more time or financial freedom than I already have, or without just selling a whole lot more real estate? How do I build a legacy for my family? And for me, that was going through my mind every minute of every day in 2021 as I, you know, lost my sister very suddenly and very tragically. And it, you know, this opportunity, it came at a time when I was like, what's next? And that also came at a time where we as a team had already embraced, you know, growth and expansion and trying to sort of like remove the brokerage borders for growth in our business. And because of the way Ontario and Canada and boards are structured, it was just not something that we were able to achieve. And we ended up going like 10 steps forward and having to go 5 backwards, because there wasn't a model that worked for us until real that would allow eliminate these barriers to growth and these borders of having to grow within a very pocketed area, if you will.
Sure. Well, and I don't think I've ever told you, like, there have been times where I was like, how could we do like the Joe Taylor North Group? I've envied for so long, like you and Sarah and Cody and Natalie and your whole team. Like, North Group is something, right? Like, I think everyone tries to create brand. They try to create culture. They try to create presence. They try to create it. So I guess the only way I could phrase this is the very first time I went to Vancouver and I went to Whistler, I was like, all right, so now I understand what Park City's trying to be. Like, now I understand what every resort in the world, they're trying to be Whistler. Okay, cool. Yeah. I get it, right? Whistler is a thing, right? And so you look at like Atlantic City and Macau, they're all trying to be Vegas. Well, North Group is a thing that naturally that people, well, I mean it, like, people want what North Group has, which is brand and presence and culture. You take great care of agents, you take great care of clients. Clients want to work with you, agents want to work with you. And so I've always been like, man, I want to be a part of that. Your agents are killing it. Yeah. And so I guess my question would be like, what did you see in real that you thought, okay, this then becomes the vehicle, because there's no abandonment of North Group. North Group is going to be bigger than it ever has been.
Yeah.
So then what did you see in real as a vehicle that you thought, okay, this I can grow with this?
I think for us, I mean, North Group does a few things really well, and we've learned from a lot of failures. We've learned from mistakes, like we all have, as entrepreneurs, and the opportunity to open our playbook and to collaborate with other amazing agents and amazing teams without having to give up our brand or our autonomy in this business, but to go further, faster together. And for there to be a model that exists that allows us to do that, and that we're going to be proud to rep and proud to help build and grow. That just excited the crap out of me. And, when we were looking at what's next, when our team was asking ourselves these questions, like, what's next? Like, how do we scale? How do we get there from here? How do I create more opportunity for my family or additional revenue streams outside of just selling a crap ton of real estate? When we were asking ourselves all of those questions, like, we did a lot of due diligence, and we looked at the industry and looked at, like, what are our options outside of the traditional brokerage model. And I found that even other opportunities, like considering, going independent, or, other models that maybe emulate real in some capacity, or whatever that is, like revenue share and really rewarding those that are helping to build and grow the company, it's a game changer. And it is the future of our business here now. And more people are getting are grabbing a hold of that and realizing that this is the opportunity and this is the direction of the way our industry is going.
So talk about how your agents have received it. When we made a change, so we kind of had our matrix moment where we were handed the two pills. And so once we understood, like, okay, there's a model out there where agents can have ownership in the company, which was something we couldn't offer as an indie, and they could get revenue share, which is very different from profit sharing. Like, some companies do profit sharing.
Exactly. And just to your point, though, about offering revenue share as an indie, like we looked at that. And since we're real, I'm going to be as real as I possibly can. Like, that is because I feel like there's so much smoke and mirrors in this industry. Not even I feel like it. There is so much smoke and mirrors in this business. And we intend to be unplugged about why we've partnered with Real, why we've joined Real, why we've partnered with you, and what that is going to mean for anybody else that wants to look at that opportunity for their business and their growth. And even in looking at the independent model, because I know a number of independents here and in the US, met with them, looked at their models, like, building out revenue share is something that's either happening, and independents who have like really deep pockets or an insane amount of profit are looking at looking at those because you need a lot of money in order to build it out, or they're trying to build it out. Like, they're either already got it, they've spent a crap ton of money to do it, or they're looking at how do I afford to do this. And so for me, this just checked all of those boxes without having to start from scratch and reinvent the wheel, and to be able to plug into something that is an established model that is still yet at the grassroots of something that's going to take over our industry.
Well, and truth be told, Taylor and I came to a moment when we first started looking into this model, and we said, well, why don't we just turn Love Local Real Estate into a rev share model and take it public? And it was like, the runway to do that was so long that, yes, we may have eventually been able to do it. But what we've seen is just explosive growth. We came over with, we had 100 agents. We currently have relationships with over 850. And it's because you guys, I've now stolen, my R&D was stealing from either you and Sarah, the Brokerage Without Borders concept, because I had never heard that before. But like, we lived inside the walls of our office. And then we lived inside the boundaries of our state. You guys have provinces. And it was like, well, I'd love to have Joe Taylor Group, Oklahoma City, but how would I ever do that with Love Local and everything we have to do? So
this is the game changer. This model is the game changer for that. And that was exactly what we experienced, because we were opening North Group teams in multiple locations. But in order to accomplish that, they had to be licensed with different brokerages. And
Right.
that didn't work according to our real estate guidelines. And we learned that lesson the hard way for sure. And I don't blame anyone or anything about that failure other than myself, but we picked ourselves back up. We shook it off, and we've continued to grow and build to the point that we've just had an exceptional 2 years as a team. You know, we're only not even a 4.5-year-old team, and cracking nearly $1 billion in sales. So this team is on an amazing trajectory, something I'm insanely proud of. I am in business with the most incredible human beings. And I think that is also one of the biggest factors that was at play at Real, was because we had such a strong culture and such amazing relationships within our team, that we had to align where the culture was going to align. And for us, that was literally everything. It was everything.
So for team leaders and brokerage owners, the next question or concern always becomes, well, how did your agents feel about it? Because like when we made our transition, I think people trusted us. So whenever a change is made, there's really two things. Like, do I trust the person leading me? Mm-hmm. And do I believe them to be competent? Mm-hmm. Those are the two things. Like, and so our agents were kind of like, okay, cool, we'll try it. Right. So talk about now rolling it out to your team, what their feelings, thoughts, feedback, concerns, like how has that process been? Because you have amazing agents. Your agents they're not followers, they're not pawns. Like, you have leaders in your organization.
We do. And I think that starts with how we've framed our business, which is everyone's a team partner. No one's above or below anybody else. Like, we're all in business together. To grow collectively and to be successful together. Like, that is like the foundation of team for me, is that everybody has to succeed. Everybody has to thrive. And I think that the only thing that I can say to answer that is that everybody is with me. Like, everyone came with North Group. Everyone wanted to join Real. We didn't lose a single person that didn't want to go with us and grow with us and to take advantage of this opportunity. And there's some serious hype going on. Obviously, we have our launch party tonight, and everybody's just excited to be together. But the thing is, this is like, this change didn't come, out of nowhere or quickly. It's something that we gave a lot of thought to, and a lot of due diligence and a lot of research, because I got into full-time sales in 2013. North Group launched in 2017. I've been with the same company since. Like, I've never changed companies. And so I think that's also a testament to both our commitment to what we have done and accomplished and built, and then now our commitment to what this is going to be, and our loyalty to Real.
So I said this to you when we first started talking about this, and it probably seems cheesy. I think maybe I'm a cheesy person, as much as I try not to be.
Sometimes your emoticons are cheesy on your Instagram stories.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
But I love it. It's who you are.
So if someone would have come to me 6 months ago, 3 months ago, 2 months ago, a week ago, and said, who is your ideal collaboration partner? It would be Amy Youngren in the North Group. And I mean that, because you and I have had deep conversations over the years of, hey, I'm struggling with this. How do you do it? Hey, Joe, Sarah's struggling with this. Can you help her here? And like, I just value so much your opinion. I value your leadership. I value your vision, I think, is something that you're just so good at. So then tell me what the next year or 2 years, 3 years, like where does the North Group go? What is Taylor and I are reading a book right now called Double Double. I'm actually reading it on Audible, but it talks about creating your vision. Where's your organization going to be in 3 years? So what does Real allow you to do in the next 3 years with the North Group?
Well, first of all, can you screenshot me that book? Because I'd never heard of it before. And I feel like I'm on the cusp. I feel like I'm on the cusp of knowing the right books to read. But right now, I mean, North Group has our entire team knows, like, we have a pretty clear vision for what it is that we're growing here in Toronto as a team, North Group. So we do have a goal to grow our internal team here in Toronto to 25 team partners here in the next 6 to 9 months locally. But we do have a very big vision for our real umbrella, which we will announce, and we will talk about the organization that we're going to build out that is going to allow us to collaborate and share our playbook and to offer some of the industry's best events and training and masterminds and all those awesome things to really, just get real and to get unplugged about what it actually takes to thrive and to produce in this business, and not just say that you do, because we all know that there's a lot of smoke and mirrors. There's a lot of fluff, and I'm over it. And it's time to get unfiltered and unplugged, and to truly, genuinely, to continue to do what we've always done as North Group. We have always been very vocal about sharing our success or sharing our secrets or sharing our resources with the industry. And now we can just do it at even a greater scale and with a greater opportunity for everybody.
That's awesome. Well, for anyone watching this, you need to watch Amy's launch video. I will link it down below. It's amazing. You guys, you've met Tamir, the CEO of the company. He's such
phenomenal
an awesome
human
person.
being, phenomenal leader.
I tried to tell him, I said, hey, my friend Amy's interested in coming aboard. I think her agents would be interested as well. And I just tried to say, like, Tamir, I can't stress enough what a quality team and what a quality group and what a quality leadership leader Amy is, and Sarah and their whole team, and Cody and Natalie. And I'm excited for the industry to have more access to your leadership, right? Because that's what Real actually does, is it just says, like, do your Toronto thing, continue to kill it, continue to do 100%. Production. But there's no reason why you can't collaborate with a team leader in Texas or in Southern California or in Georgia. And that's what the power. So talk briefly, and we'll wrap it up. But I've always viewed real estate as a series of independent island nations, right? They don't share. They don't, there's a little bit of collaboration. Very tight-lipped. This model blows that out of the water and just says, we're bridge builders. Like, we are 100%. Collaborators. So talk about what that means to you, as far as, obviously, the North Group's expansion becomes very, very possible and almost like roadmapped for you. But talk about collaboration with other big teams, big brokerages that are saying, man, I've been fighting this fight myself for 4 or 5 years. I'm ready to collaborate and build with some help and collaboration. Like,
well, I think like to answer your question is just that's what we need. Like, we've all heard the statement, like, leadership lonely or entrepreneur lonely. Like, it is a real thing. And the entrepreneur roller coaster, it's alive and well in real estate. Like, the highs are the high highs and the low lows. And what can we do to support each other, either support as individual solo agents or as teams, so that we can like thrive faster, so that we can do better together. And that's always been my mantra, which is why everything to do with sports and team and collaboration. And I once heard a line that said, I get more riled up for the assist than the goal, which is really what I love about teams and I love about collaboration. But now this just allows like a bigger vision and a bigger scale. When you think about growth and you think about teams and just helping one another in this business, and we as individuals, as realtors, as team leaders, we need those people we can call. We need those people that we can say, like, hey, I'm going through a really difficult time in my life right now. Could you jump in and do a training for my team? Or, hey, I'm really struggling with this area. What has worked for you in your market? And we need to create that bridge, that connectivity, that collaboration, that funnel that will allow people to be able to figure out exactly, and to do it without having to spend tens of thousands of dollars to get access to those trade secrets either. I'm a huge believer of that too.
I think anybody watching this is like, holy crap. Like, because you're just speaking to the truth of what, like, real estate. Initially, it's we go through this fake it till you make it, which turns into fake it like you've made it. Like, everyone, like,
there's the smoke and mirrors
and stuff. And I think you and I we're not old dogs, but I think we've just gotten past that. Like, I don't need people to think I am something I'm not. What I'm more interested in is collaborating and learning and growing with people. And I think that's become the addictive part of the real broker concept. It's not, I mean, the stock options are awesome. The revenue share is amazing. But for me, I find so, like, I woke up today and like, today's Amy Day, right? Like, I knew you guys were launching and I was so excited. And there's so many people that will come now and be a part of what we're building. And what I love is I've ran coaching programs, you've ran coaching programs. Like, there's always that pay point and that package you're trying to sell. And like, there's no salesmanship here. We're not selling anything. We're not charging anything. And that's what I love about the collaboration effort. And I'm so excited to build with you.
You too. This day is finally here, and it's exciting. And now it's just time to, just keep continuing to do what we've done and at an even higher level, offer more value, more opportunity for everybody in our industry.
Awesome. Thanks, Amy.
Thank you.